Hello and welcome back to another episode of the No Flipping Excuses YouTube channel. My name is Michael Bredthauer, and we are welcoming back another episode, Jason Palliser. How you doing, Jason?
I'm doing great. I'm excited to talk about this one because there's a lot of myths out there in real estate where people think that they can't get started for certain reasons, and quite frankly, I'm tired of that crap.
Gosh, you know what? These two reasons that we're about to get into and overcome are pretty out there for everybody. But before we get into the secrets here, and you guys are going to want to stand by because you might have said this yourself, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. It motivates us to put out good content. And in a minute, Jason's going to tell you why you want to go ahead and hit that alert button so you get notified. So Jason, what are the things that we hear from folks, the myths that you're about to break?
So we get hit up all the time. Been doing this for 26 plus years now, and training people for 20 something years for big companies. And we do our own trainings and all this good stuff. One of the biggest things that we get from people that, especially if you're just trying to get started or you sit on the sidelines because you're like, well, hey, can I really do real estate deals without any money? Can I really do it? But I have bad credit, this, that, and the other thing. So on this particular video, we're going to talk about both. Can I do deals with no money? So can I get into wholesale real estate with no money and bad credit or no credit? And so we're just going to break that down and just show you a clear path to do that. And Mike, I'll just simply start by saying this. I'll just say it to you this way, folks. Listen to me. Yes, you can do it with no money. That's the spirit of wholesaling itself. You write a contract and literally sell the rights to that contract to somebody else. Now, what does that mean? That means that you don't need any money. You don't need to get a bank loan, no paycheck stubs, tax returns, W-2s.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah, all the fun stuff. You don't have to do any of that. No waiting 3 weeks for an approval, no getting an appraisal, none of that. And then on the flip side of that, you can do it, write a contract, sell a contract. You can do it without using your credit. You can have bad credit. In fact, in the spirit of this video, let's just say the worse credit, the better. In fact, if you want to put in the comments how crappy your credit score is, I would love that. I dare you to. I challenge you to, because it doesn't freaking matter. You can close 100 transactions in the next 2 to 3 to 4 years, and no one cares about whether you have a 700 credit score or 450. I've been in the lending business for 20 something years as a banker. I've seen every credit score under the sun. But when it comes to closing wholesale real estate transactions, you do not need a credit score because we're not going to get a loan. So if you're listening, you're like, well, I've been sitting on the sidelines and I don't want to get started because I don't know the flow of how this might work. Well, we can talk a little bit about that in this video. But the bottom line is straightforward, right out of the gate. You do not need money, and you do not need to use your credit to close out a transaction. So I always say, I've been saying this for 2 decades. Bad things happen to good people. People have dings on their credit for 1,000 different reasons. Some of my best friends that have closed thousands of real estate transactions have had a situation come up and they had to file bankruptcy and they couldn't get a regular bank loan and this and that because they've been doing it a while, or maybe because I trained them or somebody else they see in the marketplace as their peers closing transactions without using bank loans, so no cash, and they don't need to use their credit score. They're back exactly to where they want to be. So it doesn't matter to me. It's a blip on my radar screen. So we just need to establish with you that you can absolutely do this without a doubt and start doing real estate and get deals to the finish line. And you don't need those 2 items. It drives me crazy, dude. So
Jason, right now, let's just say I am Joe Smith and I'm on the sidelines.
Yep.
Right. There's a lot of folks that like to sit on the sidelines, and I'm hearing you for the very first time and I'm saying, wow, I have bad credit, but you're telling me it doesn't matter. I have zero money, but you're also telling me that's a myth. It doesn't matter. Jason, I'm so intrigued. What do I do next? How do I take advantage of something if these things don't matter?
Yeah. So what I would say to that is this, is that, the nature of a wholesale transaction is in the spirit of not needing those things. That's why people gravitate towards it. So if you're new to it or you're just on the fence or you're nervous about it, let's just clear the air. Doing a wholesale real estate transaction requires this: you talking to a property owner that has some motivation to sell, you're striking a deal with them to be a solution for them, and you write a contract, and you simply put phrases in that contract. It's a normal contract. What's the closing date that you guys agree upon? What's the address? What's the sales price? And then you just put a little phrase, buyer has the right to close in whatever entity it chooses. And you sign the contract, and they sign the contract. Now that means you can sell that contract to any other entity. You can go to a title company and they see, hey, this transaction can close in any company name that it chooses, which means that you can sell it over to another LLC. So you can take the contract you wrote for $100,000 and advertise it out in the marketplace. Hear ye, I hereby offer this property for $125,000. And you find a cash buyer that says, oh, I love that area. Yeah, I'm interested. I can pay $125,000. You simply sell the contract over to that individual, and you've officially wholesaled a property. And guess what you didn't need? You didn't need to talk to a single bank. You didn't need to gather a paycheck stub or talk about your income or lack thereof income. It doesn't matter. It's not a part of the equation. You didn't need bank statements. You didn't need W-2s. You didn't need tax returns. So think about the streamlined process. You can simply write a 2-page contract, hand it to a title company after finding a cash buyer that wants to either buy the contract off of you, or they just write you another contract as if you're the owner to buy the property from you for $125,000, and you hand both contracts in, and you close that transaction. When it's done, the spread between $100,000 and $125,000 is yours. People think that you can't do this. Do you know that 99.9%, Mike, I don't even know if they know this, 99.9% of all people that I've talked to, including my family members, and I have a large family, folks.
It's pretty big.
So including them. So you need to, they don't know. They're like, well, if I'm going to start doing real estate, I guess I need to get the down payment capital in order. And, I guess I'd have to talk to my bank and see what they think that I can buy.
Yep.
And they haven't even thought about talking to a homeowner yet. So most people that I've talked to over the years, and I've traveled all around the United States, speaking in almost any conceivable city that you can think of. And Mike, everywhere I go, because I always test the theory. Like when I'm at an airport, I land in Salt Lake City, or I land in Dallas or New York or wherever. I'm at the airport, waiting to leave, or even on my way home, just waiting for my flight. I'll casually talk to people. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Traveling for work? And they're like, yeah, I'm traveling for work. Oh, yeah, me too. And they're like, oh, you do real estate? And they do whatever. And I'm like, have you ever considered real estate investing? Number one thing I get, well, I'd have to save up the capital. And I always smile and go, if you buy me a Bacardi and Diet Coke, I can tell you that is not true. And usually they take me up on the offer. And then I spill my beans. I spill my guts. I'm like, did you know that you can find an off-market property where a homeowner wants to sell, and then just sell it to somebody like me that will pay cash for your contract? They're like, and I don't need a realtor? No, it happens all the time. In fact, we have individuals reach out about joining our team, or just maybe implementing some of the strategies that we do when they have questions. I got off the phone with a gentleman earlier today. Same question came up. He's like, yeah, I really want to build up a portfolio. I don't really have the funds. I don't have the credit. And I was telling him, well, we just had a contract signed a little bit ago, got the price at $20,000. That's not coming out of my pocket. Didn't even check my credit. That wasn't, like you said, It was not part of the equation. Absolutely. So it blows my mind, and that's why we're shooting this video and delivering it to you so that we can help you. Look, if you're just getting started, what most people do if they get interested in real estate investment, what most people do is this. Once they get interested in it, they start watching a bunch of stuff. That's why we're glad you're here. We put together this channel to educate every investor in America at a level that most people don't. And so what they find out, if they don't have capitals, they stumble onto, oh, I could wholesale. What's wholesaling? And then as we're explaining it to you right now, you might be listening to this going, yeah, that's why I'm here, because I've been diving into it. So if you're liking what we're talking about, like, comment, subscribe, share the channel with others. We've already shot a couple hundred videos that we're going to slowly release to you. So stay tuned. You'll get those notifications if you've subscribed. So what we've done is broken down every aspect of the real estate business, and we're going to deliver them to you one by one, just like this one. So we're driving our stake in the ground. We're drawing our line in the sand, whatever proverbial phrase you want to use to let you know you can do tons of transactions. You don't need to have down payment, or I don't have any capital to get started. Hey, but I have bad credit, or I don't have any credit. None of those things exist in a wholesale transaction. You don't have to worry about that. Okay. Well, so that simply means that you can decide what market that you're going to go after. Start talking to homeowners that might have a level of motivation. We have 34 ways that we teach investors at our workshops to do that, because I've done it for large companies that need 30, 40, 50, that averaged 50 homes a month. And they're like, we need to beat everyone to everything. So there is an ungodly amount of off-market lead flow that you can create immediately. Your job, boiling down your responsibility to this. So Mike, I always tell, like, they boil down the responsibility to this. I want to do real estate. I want to get started. And now I understand I don't need capital or my credit. What do I do first? The first thing you do is you start going after off-market leads. You can go to your county and get code violations, water disconnects, cease and desist, order to vacate. That's a motivated lead. Someone's been ordered to vacate. So it's either a landlord kicking somebody out. Now they're going to have an empty property and they've already been dealing with a headache, or someone lives there and something's going on, and whatever it is bad enough to where they said, you have to vacate this property. I'm just talking about off-market leads.
And you alluded to it a little bit ago that we have several other videos out there. Now that you know you don't need money or credit, watch one of the other videos where we dive deeper into a specific strategy.
Correct.
We go into a ton of different things, and what you need to do at the end of this video, like Jason said, is just understand money, credit, having all that stuff, that's not part of the equation. What you need to do is get your lead source, which we actually just recorded a video and talked about how to get free leads, zero budget. So go back and watch that one. But Jay, as we wrap this up, we still have a few people that may be sitting on the sidelines. They're not maybe convinced that they don't need money or credit. What would be your final parting words to that individual to just, hey, this is not something you need, and this is the proof in the pudding right here?
Real simple. Join your local real estate Facebook groups for your area, and just sit back with popcorn in hand and watch other people offering property up. Hey, I got this property, I'm offering it at $150. Hey, I got this property in this part of the city, I'm offering it at $210. I'm offering it at $20,000. I'm offering it at $600,000. If you're in Washington, DC, I'm offering this 1-bedroom, 1-bath for $750,000.
It's getting up there.
Some markets get a little crazy, but I want you to join those groups. Here's why. Here's your responsibility. I always like to boil things down to, if you're listening and you're starting to develop, you know what? Let me start diving. Let's do this the way you said. Then your only responsibility right here is to join Facebook groups for real estate in your area, which they're typically already there waiting for you, and just sit on the sidelines. How easy is that? Just sit on the sidelines and watch other people offering property at a certain price. If they offer it at $210, it's probably because they have it under contract for $175.
Right.
If they offer it for $50,000, it's probably because they got it under contract for $20,000, like the house we did today, where we solved the problem. We solved the problem for a homeowner today. Yep. And we're going to offer it out there for $50,000, and the future value of the house is $108. So whoever buys that off of us, we didn't need a bank loan. We didn't need any credit. Nope. When they say, hey, I'll pay $50 for it, and we strike a deal with that end cash buyer, we've solved the problem for the homeowner who accepted it for $20,000. We make $30,000, and I've never talked to a bank.
Yep.
There was no part of the conversation in that conveyor belt getting the deal to the finish line where somebody's like, well, what's your credit score?
Who knows?
The seller doesn't care if I have a credit score. My end cash buyer, who just simply wants to buy the contract from me, doesn't care about my credit score. It is never, ever a part of the equation. In fact, I'd probably say, no, you can't buy the house. I'm like, hey, by the way, just as a weird thought, what's your credit score? I'd be like,
get lost.
Beat it. Because it's not a part of that type of transaction. So hopefully you're getting this.
Yep.
Like, share this. Hey, by the way, there's a lot of you that will see this that are starting to develop what you want to do next. We're happy. Schedule a call with us. Hit us up. Just say, hey, I'd like to talk to you. We'll literally talk to you and help you develop a plan. Just reach out to us. Okay. But there's some of you that are listening right now that are trying to dive in or ready to sink your teeth in, or maybe we've got you off the fence, or some of you are sitting back because you have friends and family members that are saying, oh, I don't know, real estate investment, you need a lot of money and capital. Share this video with them.
Let them see.
Share it and just see, I told you so. And you can do this, and you can do it without capital, deposit big checks. And then after you've done that, now you can start evaluating every property that comes your way to see if you want to keep it or if you want to wholesale it. So now you're off and running. And I'll tell you one thing. If you sit on the sidelines long enough at those RIA meetings and you see how it's getting done with no money, no credit, it'll start stinging that you're not a part of those transactions, and Correct.
You're just instinctively going to get involved.
Yeah, and there's no reason for you not to be. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Like, subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we've shot a couple 100 videos, and we're going to slowly release them a couple a week, 2, 3, 4 a week. Once we press go on the full blown floodgates. So this is just one in the series of turning everybody into a monster. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon. Hey, Jason Palliser here from the No Flipping Excuses channel. So just for being on our channel, here's what we're going to do. Go to www.theflippingbook.com, where we're going to break down for you and give you for $7. If you go to Amazon, it's $24.95. You're going to save $17 and get an instant download of our wholesaling book, where we break down how to get leads and deals under contract that other investors don't even know about, and get smoking hot deals on the back end, and then how we run circles around our competition and how you can close your first deal or start stacking on top of that. So you just need to go to theflippingbook.com, and we put it together for you, and it's our gift to you for $7, not $24.95, just for being on our channel. So check it out.